Welcome to the 2019 National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. My name is Kirsten Deschon, and I am president of the Abington High School chapter of the National Honor Society. I am joined on stage by Vice President Lauren Kelleher, Secretary Ailey Riddick, and Treasurer Colby Augusta. The definitions we just shared with you are our personal definitions for the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society: scholarship, service, leadership, and character, all of which have been at the forefront of tonight's inductees' minds throughout their application process. Only those who exemplify these 4 pillars stand with us this evening for induction. Tonight is not the end, rather it is the beginning of something great. While we invite tonight's inductees to join us in our continued quest for increasing community outreach, we are honored to offer them a warm welcome. To start the evening, I would first like to introduce our current members. Brooke Callanan, Kerry Cardinal, Cameron Kearney, Emily Dankies, Victoria Donahue, Emily Azell, Rohith Ghosh, Michaela Littman, Olivia Litzenberger, Corin Mahan, Sham Nasseh, Trinity O'Connor, Abigail Odell, Shauna Phillips, Richard Reisfelder, Manda Riddick, Kylie Roberts, Lindsay Roberts, Julie Warshewski, Kristen White, Drew Wilson, Liberty Woods. Current members may now be seated. I would now like to welcome tonight's inductees. At this time, I would like to invite our Ways and Means officers, Isabel Mealy and Ariel Amboy, to introduce tonight's inductees.
For the class of 2020, Samantha Johnson.
Megan McCadden.
And Robert Malloy.
Now for the class of 2021, Hudson Arujo Jr.
Rachel Barrett.
Laura Bartlett.
Joseph Beaver.
Lila Blanchard.
Lily Bonner.
Mackenzie Cahill.
Emily Coolsey.
Erin Doherty.
Kaylee Dunher.
Catherine Janest.
Brendan Grafton.
Abigail Joyce.
Samantha Kelly.
Leah Kenneberg.
Cecilia Lindo.
Jordan Little.
Matthew Lyons.
Carly Mentis.
Grace Monahan.
Gracie O'Connell.
Isabella O'Connell.
Mara Odell.
Krish Panjwani.
Elizabeth Roy.
Joseph Sala.
Allison Sanasuaso.
Abigail Strickland.
Caitlin Thetonia.
Derek Terrell.
Brian Tolan.
Andrew Vasquez.
And Lydia Vidal.
I would now like to invite Vice President Lauren Kelleher to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
They're already standing. That's easy. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
In previous years, the National Honor Society has lit candles as a symbolic commitment on Induction Night. Tonight, however, the recitation of the National Honor Society Pledge will symbolize our new members' official induction. I would now like to ask the inductees to join me in reciting that pledge. I pledge myself to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been elected. I will strive to maintain exemplary standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Congratulations, and welcome to the National Honor Society. I would now like to introduce our principal, Dr. Teresa Sullivan.
Sorry, I was busy taking a picture. Congratulations, inductees. We're very proud of you. I think this is probably the biggest group that I've ever seen, so appreciate that you take up the entire stage. That's awesome. Actually, my role tonight, I think, is to introduce the keynote speaker. I want to tell you a little bit about Mr. Peter Serino. About 18 years ago, I met a 15-year-old boy, Peter Serino, in my sophomore world history class. It was September of 2001. In less than 2 weeks into school and into meeting Peter, New York City and our country was under attack. This was a first in my own lifetime, and certainly the most teachable period in time that I think my students had witnessed as well. That year, teaching history as it played out, seeking to understand the complex world around us, together, teacher and class, was probably the most memorable professional year of my life. So as you can imagine, for many years, I have credited myself for being the professional that Mr. Serino must have looked to as his model. Come to find out, not even a mention of me in his yearbook. But what I did discover actually made a lot of sense. This is Mr. Serino's 2004 bio. Baseball, 1, 2, 3, 4. Basketball, 1, 3, 4. Class vice president, 1, 2. Student council, 1. National Honor Society, 3, 4. Chain crew, 2, 3. Prom committee, 3. Yearbook, 4. Abington Education Foundation, 4. And his quote, "Don't give up. Don't ever give up." I'm going to say that again. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. It must have been pretty important to him. Even his parents quoted that ad in the yearbook that they mentioned to him. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This mantra is from a 1993 speech at the ESPYs by Jimmy Valvano, North Carolina State men's basketball coach and recipient of the esteemed Arthur Ashe Courage Award. That same year, Jimmy V died after battle with cancer. Peter was 11 years old. I share this with you by way of introducing him because those traits that brought you here tonight, inductees, scholarship, character, service, and leadership, are not just one and done achievements. They are traits that manifest in every aspect of your life and career. And that is what I know about my student, the 15-year-old Peter, and history teacher, athletic director, colleague, and friend, Mr. Serino. For as long as I've known him, he has demonstrated his own scholarship as an undergraduate at Holy Cross, and then as a graduate student in educational leadership and administration, again, under my tutelage. Seriously, Jimmy V? His character, service, and leadership are also essential to who he is. I know that because I have worked beside him every day for about a decade. Mr. Serino is everything that a member of the National Honor Society should aspire to be. I couldn't be more proud of him and of each of our 19 inductees. That's 2019, not the number 19. Congratulations, Mr. Serino.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sullivan. I'm glad I went with that quote and not some of the others my friends tried to talk me into. But good evening and welcome to the faculty, administration, families, and most importantly, to my now fellow members of the Abington High School chapter of the National Honor Society. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you tonight on such a momentous occasion. To be inducted into the National Honor Society at Abington High School is a remarkable achievement that should be celebrated. Unlike many other schools, where you are simply admitted for obtaining a specific GPA, Abington High School has an application process that requires you to demonstrate the 4 pillars of National Honor Society: scholarship, leadership, character, and service through your portfolio. You have earned the recognition of this ceremony and the privileges of membership that come with it. You have earned the status of being members of the National Honor Society through your thoughts and your actions. It is important that you recognize how you got here and why you were selected, because you were chosen and others were not. You have something, you are someone that stands apart from your peers. First and foremost, recognize that you did not get onto this stage and accepted into National Honor Society on your own, nor will you continue to achieve great success on your own. Maya Angelou once said, "I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. You are the representation of the individuals who shaped and molded you into the person that you are today. Take a moment and think about who helped you get to this point, because none of us got to where we are today without the help from someone else. Every word that you hear tonight is not something of my own. It's a result of someone else's impact on me. Personally, I can thank Dr. Sullivan for instilling the curiosity of history and the passion for challenging things that you do not believe are right, although I'm sure she may have regretted the second one in recent years. I can thank Mr. Scott for inspiring me to become a better teacher in the classroom and finding ways to better engage students and never make an excuse. I can thank many of you on this stage for shaping me not only into the professional that I am, but the person that I am. Recognize who helped you become a leader. Who taught you to stand up for something? Who made you the person of strong character that you are? Did someone teach you to hold the door or always do what's right? Inky Johnson once said that you will not find any award that he won in his house or in his possession. He gave every one of his awards to a person who helped him achieve it. Be humble. Take the time to acknowledge and give gratitude to those who helped you get here tonight, directly or indirectly. Those are the little things that have set you apart, and always take the time to show the gratitude, because ultimately, it is the small things, like humility and showing gratitude, that are the foundation that got you to the point where you are today. At a certain point, people get so caught up in their success that they forget what got them to where they are. If you're not careful, you can become a victim of your own talent and your own success. You always need to value the small things that got you here. Think about those small things. Saying after to get some extra help on that essay, your willingness to ask a question and listen to the answer, holding the door for someone, having a conversation, or simply listening. The idea of giving your time to someone else so often seems like a small gesture, but this small gesture is the biggest gesture that you can make. Time is the great equalizer in life. Everyone has the same amount. No one gets more time or can create more of it, no matter how creative you are. Although I sometimes wonder if Cam Kearney will prove me wrong in the coming years on that last part. But seriously, think about your time and how you've spent it to get to where you are in life. There is no greater way to show someone that you genuinely care, to demonstrate leadership, character, and service than to give your time. When you give someone your time, they're getting it. They're getting all of it. You're not just throwing some of whatever resource that you have, money, skills, or talent. In that moment, you're giving them all of what you have. So many times in your life, you have chosen to give your time to others. The fact that you are here as members of the National Honor Society has proven that you continue to make wise decisions with your time. Do not forget, although tonight is celebration, it is also a challenge. Will you continue to give your time? Will you continue to make sacrifices for others? Being in the National Honor Society is a call to action as much as it is an honor to be accepted. It is an even greater challenge for you to continue to grow and mature as a person who consistently demonstrates scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Perspective about every moment is important. You can stand here with the perspective that you deserve to be honored, and this is the culmination of your hard work. This is it. You've made it. Now you get all of the awesome privileges that come with being a National Honor Society. I'm still not exactly sure what they are, but Mr. Scott told me you can go different places during a learning center. So I guess you really have made it. But I know that because you have been accepted, you will have a different perspective. You view this as an opportunity to work alongside like-minded people, to inspire others, to further develop your skills, and to leave a legacy. Perspective drives performance. How you view what you do will always drive how you do what you do. Too many times, people view others with different viewpoints as the opponent or the opposition. Our perspective fails to recognize that diversity helps us develop a deeper understanding of our own perspective and others around us. As you embark as members of National Honor Society and in your lives afterwards, remember that your perspective has the greatest influence on the work that you do. Perspective drives performance, and how you view what you do will always drive how you do what you do. And lastly, in doing what you do, always remember the why. The why is what drives you, what guides you, and ultimately what defines you. Too many times, we allow people to alter our why, or even worse, make us forget our why. It is apparent that each of you have a why. In talking to Mr. Scott and Ms. McHugh, and witnessing your actions firsthand, each of you have demonstrated your why through your scholarship, service, leadership, and most importantly, your character. Your why drives you to success. Your why is different than anyone else's why. Never let people forget your why. The only way that you will fail is if you forget your why. Thank you, and I look forward to witnessing all of the remarkable things that you will go on to achieve at Abington High School and beyond.
Thank you, Mr. Serino. That was beautiful. At this point, I would like to introduce to the stage our co-advisor, Mr. Jason Scott.
Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Serino. Mrs. McHugh and I are particularly excited to work with the new inductees as they define their why. We are proud of you all. This organization is highly selective, and you represent the best that Abington High School has to offer. Recognition of your excellence brings with it the burden of responsibility to serve your school and your community. I know I speak for Mrs. McHugh and the current members when I say we are excited to begin our work together. This night would not have been possible without the help of many people. We would like to thank the custodial staff for helping set up the venues for this evening's ceremonies. We would also like to thank Superintendent Schaefer and the district administration for their continued support of the organization. Thank you to Lisa Augusta, Wendy Happel, and the rest of the school committee for their continued support as well. Thank you, Dr. Sullivan, for welcoming our new members this evening and for your continued support of the National Honor Society. We would like to thank Kevin Tachi, John Mueller, Reed Norton, and Andrew Roy of Abington Camp for filming this evening's ceremony. Finally, we would like to thank Abington Bank for sponsoring tonight's reception. At this time, I would like to ask the senior members and officers to exit the room to prepare for the reception. Now I would like tonight's inductees to exit the room and form a receiving line in the cafeteria. Congratulations.